students, welcome to English class once again. Now today we will going to learn the leftover part of The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. It consists of 4 stanzas. Each stanza carries 5 lines, and in our earlier class we have just completed the first 2 stanzas, and today we will going to learn the leftover portion, that is the last 2 stanzas, that is 3rd and 4th. Okay, now as you know that Robert Frost was a well-known American writer. So actually he, as I told earlier also, in earlier class also I told you that he was modern in spirit and traditional in his style of writing poetry. Okay, this poem actually it's a metaphorical poem, you can say, in one sense, and in another sense you can say it's an autobiographical poem. So I discussed earlier also, again let us recall these things again. This poem, actually the poet wants to say that as life going on, no, we all are having, we have to choose options in our life. We will get several options, and out of these options we have to choose, and while choosing we have to be very sincere, we have to be very careful, because this will impact, this particular choice will make our future. So in the first stanza we have seen that while walking on a road, the poet has chosen, there were 2 paths divided, and the roads were divided, and out of this, as he was a single traveler, he couldn't able to handle 2 paths, so he had to choose a single line. And actually, as it is a metaphorical poem, he uses the road. Means here the poet uses this metaphor. Here the road symbolizes our life, the choices that we make in our life. So he had choose to be a poet, and whatever differences is in his life today is because of his option, because of this path that he had chosen in the very young age. And he also give us the same message, or he is giving to the same message to the reader also, that while choosing you should be very careful, because that will make your future, that will make the differences that you will be in future. Now suppose I am giving stanzas. I am missing you all. Actually, if it is a real class, no, then we could have asked that what do you want to be, okay, isn't it? No, so okay, whatever else, it is a virtual class. Okay, now here see, in a very young age, in your age also, suppose now you are in 9th standard. Now see, here Deepa Karmakar, you know, the name is very familiar to us, for the people of Tripura. Now if she had chosen that, she had also her options in the life, and she had chosen to be a gymnast. So at the very young age, from I think from 6, when she was 6 of her age, then she had decided that I will go for sports. Okay. For you, you have chosen that I will go for studies. Okay. Now afterwards, now what is now Deepa Karmakar? What is the position of her? Because of her option that he had chosen in her earlier age. Now she has become a well-known gymnast. That one you all know. She is well-known to all over India, all over the world, you can say, because of her option that she had chosen in her very young age. Now, if she wants to come back for study engineering, she cannot able to do so. Okay. For you people also, you have chosen that we will go for studies. Now you are in 9th standard, and if you want to be a well-known gymnast, I think you cannot be. It is quite impossible for you, because now you see your age. Deepa Karmakar had started her career at the age when she was 6 years old. Okay. Now she cannot go back also. Okay. For you people also, now what to do? Now after 9th standard you will go for 10 board. After 10 board you will choose the subjects. The options will be here for you. See, you have to choose science or commerce or arts. Suppose you have chosen science team. Okay. Now afterwards also, the option that you have chosen right now, that will move you, that will leads you further options. Now once you have chosen that I will take science stream, right? Now afterwards you have to think for science what subjects you have to choose. Now somebody will go for maths, will be the main subject, or somebody will go biology will be the main subjects, and maths will be our additional. So in this way, the option that you have chosen, that will leads you move forward, that will gives you further option in front of you. And afterwards, after 12 he will go for somebody will go for engineering, somebody will go for MBBS, somebody will go for bachelor degree. But at that time, after taking the bachelor degree, if you think that we will go back for the option that we had left over earlier, you cannot go back. So while choosing, you have to think the consequences, the result. That is the message of the poet. Now in the very early age, he himself, as it is an autobiographical poem, as I told you earlier also, in her very young age, he has to go for poet or to be a farmer. What he had chosen? The poet. He had chosen these options. And the differences that make his life in today is for the option that he had chosen earlier, that is to become a poet. Now see Sachin Tendulkar. If you take the example of Sachin Tendulkar, he had chosen to be a cricketer. Now see today's scenario. Now he became the world famous you can say cricketer. Okay, we all are a big fan of him, but the option he had chosen in his very early age. Now think if he could have chosen that if he could choose he will study, he will go for engineering, maybe it happened, na? Now it's the sad news that came maybe a few days ago, that Sushant Singh Rajput. You all are a big fan. I know that you are a big fan of him, even me also. Okay, now see, As you know, from his biography, we just come to know that he was a brilliant student also. He got 7th position in engineering. But he had chosen, several paths were there, no? Several paths were there. Now, what he had chosen? See, he could be go for engineering because he was a very brilliant student. What he had chosen? After going to engineering, he had chosen that he want to be a what? Film actor. Now what happened? Now once, that is the point wants to say. Now he became a well-known actor. For us, he is very much well-known and he is favorite of all of us. But see, in life, maybe that option leads you farther and farther. You will go on and on. In every options, in every way of life, there you have to face challenges. You have to face the struggles. There will be obstacles, but at that period, you cannot think of going back. You have to move forward. Just think. You have to just strongly determine that I have to go. Whatever obstacles will come, I have to face it. Now see Sushant Singh Rajput, he has to. Today we are regretting. He has to face the situation. Rather, he regret. We think that now we are thinking that he could have go for engineering. That path will be good for him. Maybe he could also think like that. That is what the poet wants to say. Afterwards, you cannot just regret. He told us that the path that I have not chosen, okay, that after going that particular path, I felt that the two paths were similar. Yes, all the paths are similar. There are obstacles in each and every path, and like a river which flows continuously, obstacles is coming, but see, river, they are just going on and on. Okay, they are facing the obstacles, and like a river, we have to do the same. We have to choose the right path and we have to go forward, because we cannot go back. We have to face the situation. That is the message the poet wants to give you through this poem. So it's a very important poem for you, and I think this is the important message for you people also. Think wisely, think sincerely. While thinking, you should be very careful, because in everywhere there are challenges, and what we should do, we have to face it. Okay, we should not regret, right? Then let's go to the text and read the leftover stanzas. Correct? Now see, the third stanza I am reading. And both that morning equally lay. Equally lay means similar. Equally lay means similar. Okay. First of all, let me read out. Now, and both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads to on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Now let us just again read out. And both that morning equally lay. In leaves no stab had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Now see, he's telling first of all, and both that morning, afterwards, in the morning, he thought that both the path were similar. Means both the path has having the obstacles. Okay. Now he told that I have chosen the path that most of the paths were what not worked over by the people, means less number of people worked over there. I had chosen that path, the poet said earlier. Now see, he's telling that in leaves no stab had trodden black. Now he's telling, now he realizes that no, both the paths were similar, and both the paths, the roads where grasses are there, see, grasses were still remain green, means trodden, step had trodden black. Trodden black here means they were still green, as both the paths were walked over by the less number of people. Okay, means they trodden black here means, yeah, if a good number of people were walked over there, the grasses will be crushed over. Now it was not crushed, it was still green grasses were there. So he said it's not trodden black, means it's not turned into black. Okay. Oh, I kept the first for another day. I kept the first for another day. Now he told that I had chosen a path that was, I thought, for that I felt, means the poet himself felt that was walked over by the less number of people. That's why he had chosen this path. Now he had chosen for what? Why he had chosen the path? Because he thought that a less number of people were walked over on that particular way. That's why he had chosen this path. And he's telling, though he know that that earlier time also, though he knew that I cannot go back, I cannot go back to choose that path that was left over. Initially, whatever paths I have left behind me, I cannot go back. But still he is telling that the leftover path, I just kept it for what? To go another day. Though he himself also knew that he cannot go back. I doubted if I should ever come back. That is what he's telling. He was also confused. He was also confused. He also knew that I cannot go back. But still he is telling that the another path, I just kept it behind me, that I will go another day. Now if we correlate this in our life also, same thing happened that I explained earlier also, that paths will be, options will be there for you. But you have to choose. Before choosing, you have to remind it, you have to know, and you have to think for its consequences, its result. Because that option will make your life, that option will make your future, what you will be in future. So before choosing, you have to think forward, because once you have chosen, you cannot go back. You have to move on and on. You have to go forward. And you will get further options. And you have to go on and on. And somehow, you will make your future. Correct? That is what the poet wants to say. And he is correlated with our life also. Because the entire poet is a symbolism. It's a metaphorical poem. The poet uses the words, but is just resembling it with our life, with a man's life, with the options that a man's get in his life. Correct? Now moving to the next one, the last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the differences. Correct? Now again, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the differences. Correct? Now see, I shall be, I here means the poet himself. Okay. Now, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of sigh? Sigh here means a deep breath. Deep breath. Sigh here means a deep breath. Now here, that could be here. The deep breath, that could be here, no? Now sometimes we used to say na ah like that. So this sound is called sigh. Now he is telling that I shall be now after, see, when he will recollect afterwards, when he will just reach his destination, when you will also reach to your destination, we just telling this one for means the struggle that we had earlier with a deep sigh, with a, you can say, with a deep breath. It may be sad, it may be happy. If your destination is fulfilled, then you will be happy. If your destination will not be fulfilled, then it's a sad, you can say, it's a sad breath also. So, but whatever else is, when you recollect your days, your younger days, when options came to you and you had chosen on that particular period, okay, that things you will recollect with a deep sigh, means with a deep breath. Okay, I shall be telling this with a sigh. Okay. Now somewhere ages and ages hence. Okay, hence here means in the futures. And the ages and ages means in the, means here it means ages and ages hence here means in the future. It's after many years. Okay, it's regarded as time. Okay. Now in the future, if you get success in your life, then you'll be happy, and then also you will take a deep breath. And if you not win also, then also you will give a deep breath. That is what the poet wants to say, that somewhere ages and ages hence, after many years, ages and ages means a very long time. Is actually emphasis here the time being that you have passed. Okay, that you have struggled. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I. Now again he is telling that time, that I will recollect those days when options were there, when two roads diverged. There were two options. I means myself, means the poet himself. I took the one less travelled by. He took the one that was, he had chosen the option that was the means he had chosen that path that was travelled by a less number of people. He felt that time in his very young age, he thought that he would just come to such a road that it was diverged, and he has to follow only one road, because he was a single traveller, and for a single traveller it is not possible to choose both the roads. So he had chosen that path. Which one? What? He felt that was chosen by less number of people. I had less traveled by. Less number of people traveled by or walked over on that particular route. Correct? And that has made all the difference now. What he is today, now he is a well-known poet, Robert Frost, a well-known American poet. Now he is telling whatever differences, what I am is only because the options that I had chosen earlier is only because of that alternatives that I took for me, that I felt for me will be the best for me. Correct? Now if we correlate with in our life, same thing. Now I told you that you will get in your young age, from your young age onwards, you will get options and you will choose the paths, you will choose the alternatives, you have to choose the alternatives. And after choosing, no, suppose once you became an engineer, now your ambition was engineer. Now then also when you recollect your earlier days, then also you will take a deep breath and you will say just, yes, that path I had in the very young age, that path I had chosen is make the difference that what I am today. Now see, I am a teacher now. Now for what? The option that I had chosen in my very early age. Now for you also, once you father, you will go for your future, you have to go, you have to choose options and options. Suppose you have taken us. Now afterwards the subjects will come, you have to choose the subjects, and afterwards that subject, and you will move forward, you will get another options for choosing that particular subject. And once you completed your bachelor, then your master degree, then you'll go for PhD, and like that. No, so many options will come. And when you succeed in life, no, afterwards, then you will recollect, everybody will recollect those days, that yes, that option I had chosen. Maybe you will be happy for whatever you have chosen earlier in your very young age. Maybe you will be sad. It's not that all the time a man will succeed. Maybe the options you have chosen, maybe you are regretting that I shouldn't, I just had to choose the option that I left over. But you can't regret, but you cannot go back. You have to face the challenges, because after coming to that particular options, you will get several obstacles, several challenges in your life, and you have to face this way. The author is just give you the message that while choosing, you have to be very wise, you have to be very careful, because this makes your future. And this way he's telling that he just giving example of himself also, that in my earlier age I had chosen that to become a poet, and whatever differences is in my life in the present scenario is because of that option that I had chosen in my very young age. And same thing happens in our life also. If you take the example of Sachin Tendulkar, whatever he is today is because for what? The options that he had chosen in his very early age. For you also same thing. When you you will become a doctor, an engineer, a professor, or whatever else. If you want to go for you are a good writer, if you want to take business as the option, no problem. Afterwards, you will just recollect your days, that today whatever differences is in my life is because of the options that I had chosen in my very early age. So through this poem, it's a beautiful poem, and the poet wants to give you the message that while choosing, you should be very sincere. And one thing you have to remember, be very positive. maybe after choosing you have to face, and at that time you will regret. No, always remember that whatever obstacles will come to our life, I have to face it and I have to move or go on and on. I should not go back. Okay, so this is the message for you also, for the reader also, the poet wants to give. Correct? Now let's moving to the literary devices. I think the overall explanation is just you understand it better. If you need more explanation, you write in the comment box. Okay, now let's move on for the literary devices used in third and fourth stanza, because first and second stanza I have discussed earlier. Okay, now see, in the third stanza again we are seeing, in the third stanza, moving on the third stanza. Okay, now what will be the rhyme scheme? See, again it is A B A A B, A B A B. Now here see, and both that morning equally lay. Now for rhyme scheme we have to take the last word of a single line. Okay, lay, day, way. Lay, day, way. We mark it with A. Correct? Now second, black and back. Black and back. We just mark it B. Now see, lay here, lay, black, then day, way, back. Correct? Now if we mark it in this way, A, black, B, day, A. Now way, A once again, and then back, B. Then what will be the altogether the rhyme scheme will be? What is the rhyme scheme? What is the rhyme scheme? Rhyme scheme will be A, B, A, B. Correct? It's correct to you? Okay, fine. Then moving to the next literary devices. Okay, now in this third stanza, I am talking about this third stanza. What is this? Alliteration. Alliteration. Here, in which line? In the third stanza, third line. First, for. See, first, for. First, for. Here, for sound is repeatedly used. And what do you mean by alliteration? That I discussed earlier also, I am telling again also. The repetitive use of a consonant word in two or more consecutive words. Correct? The repetitive use of, you can say, the repetitive use of consonant word at the start of two or more consecutive words. Correct? This literary devices is known as alliteration. And here in the third stanza, third line, we have seen first, for. For sound is repeatedly used. It's a consonant sound and starting of the word is F. So F sound is repeatedly used. So in this way, or for this thing, we can say that here the poet uses alliteration. Correct? Now moving to the next. Now here in the first and second line, the poet uses imagery. Here, see, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no stamp and trodden black. Both the lines, the poet uses imagery. Now here, in the first lines, the poet feels through his five senses. Correct? Here, see, and both that morning equally lay in leaves no stamp had trodden black. Means nobody had, here he's telling that both the ways where green grasses were, means less number of people worked over there. Okay, now here he is correlated to our life also. Okay, so in this way he had used imagery here. Correct. And these two lines here, the poet also uses in, and both the morning, the same line, both morning equally lay and leaves no stab and trodden black. Here, have you seen any pause? Means, have you seen any punctuation? The same line is continuing in the next line also. So, this literary devices is known as enjambment. Here the poet uses the literary devices that is known as enjambment. Means same thought is continuing in the next line. Here in the third stanza, the first and second line, there the poet uses no punctuation there. Means the same line continuing in the second line also. And when such things were there, means there is no punctuation marks and same thought is continuing, then this type of devices is known as enjambment, and the poet uses enjambment here in these two lines. Correct? Now see, here another device is the poet uses, that is called onomatopoeia. Correct? Okay. Here, see, oh, I see. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no stab had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day. Now, you can say that here, oh, here, this is the, you can say this is the sound of a human being. Human being use such a sound. And when here the poet uses onomatopoeia, in which sense we can say that the poet has uses onomatopoeia, that it is a use of sound words to create the dramatic effect. This is a use of sound words. This is a use of sound words. Why the poet uses such things? To give it a dramatic effect. This is a sound of a person. Correct? A human being can make such a sound. So in this sense, here it uses to give it a dramatic effect. So in this sense, we can say here the poet uses onomatopoeia. Correct? Now it's over. Now see, now moving to the next, the last stanza. What are the literary devices the poet used? Again, literary devices, fourth stanza. Stanza 4. Stanza 4. Again, first of all, we will see rhyme scheme. What is the rhyme scheme? Again, the poet uses here psi A. Now hence B, I by. Now psi I by. Psi I by. Okay. Now see psi I by, here we mark it here A. Now here again hands and difference. Hands and difference. We mark it here B. Now what will be the rhyme scheme? What will be the rhyme scheme? The rhyme scheme will be A B A A B. The rhyme scheme will be A B A A B. Now if we consider psi A, hands B. Okay. Now see I A. Now again by A. Now difference B. Then all together the rhyme scheme will be A B A A B. Now we have seen the entire poem. The rhyme scheme is A B A A B. Clear? Okay. Now next literary device that the poet used here, that is repetition. That is repetition. In the fourth stanza, I am talking about the fourth stanza. Okay, repetition. Repetition here, actually repetitive use of words or lines, you can say. Why? To lay emphasis. Repetition is a literary device which is used to give emphasis. It may be words or it may lines. Means repetition is the repetitive use of word or it can be lines. Okay, to lay emphasis. So here we can see ages and ages. Ages and ages. You can see ages and ages. Line number, second line, fourth stanza. Somewhere ages and ages. Means ages and ages here giving emphasis on, given emphasis for what? This in time. On time. Given emphasis on time. Means many years, after many years. And so after many years when we recollect these things. Okay, now here also the poet uses ages and age to mean many years. So in this sense we can say that here the poet uses the word ages and ages. So it's a devices of repetition. Again, we have seen here in this poem the same line also repeatedly used like that. Now see here line number 1, it is written two roads diverged in a yellow. Same thing repeatedly used. Two roads diverged in a wood and I. Maybe yellow is not there. Actually it is linked to his life and I he used, that's why. But this line is repeatedly used. Means this line why it is used? Because this is the main base. Here two roads. Here two roads. Okay, two roads metaphor. Okay, symbolizes what? The options that that comes to a man's life. The options that a man has to choose in his life. So he is telling that this two roads diverged. Actually, this is the main base. You can say this is the main base, or you can say that this two roads means the two choices that a man has to take in his life, or a man has to choose in his life, or the two options that a man has to choose in his life. And this two options, see, two roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less traveled by. Now see, maybe there were two paths. We cannot handle two paths together. So out of that two, we have to take one option and we have to go on. And this is the crucial point of life. This is the crucial point of our life, because our future depends on whatever options we have taken in our earlier age, that we have chosen in our very young age. That's why symbolically the poet used two roads. And this line is repeatedly used in the first line and the very last stanza also. In the first stanza also and the last stanza also. That's why we can say that the poet wants to give emphasis on that thing, only that symbolic things, two roads. Two roads here, what it is means that this is the choice that for every man's life it has come, and a man has to choose a particular option out of such two options. So this is the message of the poet, and the poet symbolically use these words to give you the crucial, you can say, the truth of life, the reality of life. This is the reality of our life. We will get options in our from our, you can say, from the young age onwards, and we have to choose the options, maybe two options or several other options, and we have to choose out of these alternatives only one option we have to choose. And before choosing, we have to think very carefully, and once we have chosen, we have to think that we cannot go back. We have to go on, and we have to face the obstacles, or you can say the challenges that will come forward. That's why the poet wants to say, before choosing anything, before choosing the options in your life, you should be very careful. And this is the message that he wants to give the reader too. So that's all the poem, that's all of the whole poem, that is the road not taken. The road that was not taken by the poet. Okay, and he has given the genuine reason also why that road was not taken, and he explained it very beautifully, and I explained each and every line. I have given the explanation, I have given you literary devices used in this particular poem. And if you have any queries, you write in the comment box. And what to say, I think you like my classes, and be very positive. Stay home, stay safe, stay happy and healthy. Okay, thank you for today's class.